Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to create a form with Google Forms. Now I'm starting off in the Google Drive. So the way that you get to Google Drive is coming up here to your Google App Selector and then selecting Google Drive. Now from here we're going to create a new form. So if you look over here, there's no Google Forms, but there is one here in the new button on Google Drive. So we're going to go to New from Drive and we're going to go down to More. And then the first selection is Google Forms. Now what will pop up is a new tab and then it has the untitled form. Now way up here at the top you can change the name of whatever you want this form to be named. So we'll just make up one for practice purposes. We'll just say student information. Okay, so that's what pops up right here. You can also edit it right here in this spot too, and it will basically title this form. Up here at the top you have some form settings. The first one is automatically checked. It says require Northside ISD login to view this form. Now if you have this checked, you have to log in using a Northside ID that includes teachers and students' Gmail accounts. If you uncheck it, it's going to give you a response and it says do not require sign in. Click OK and then it goes away. Now the time when you're going to want to do this is whenever you post this on your site and you want it available to parents or guardians that don't necessarily have a Northside ISD login and you want them to fill out the information. For example, doing a student information sheet at the beginning of the year. If you do want them to have the ID login at the beginning, you can also collect the respondent's Northside ISD username. That'll populate that in the very first column, so that way you know what ID they use to actually log in to get into this form. Okay. The next one shows a progress bar at the bottom. That's just optional, and then also only allow one response per person. That means if they log in and they submit a response, they are not allowed to log in and redo another one. So you can only do one if you have that selected. So we're going to leave everything off. We're going to pretend that we're posting this on our Google site and it's available for anyone to use. So first over here, you can add a description if you want to your form. Next, you'll have your questions. So we'll just make up the first question. We'll just say name. Now that's going to be what shows up at the top of the question. Then you have to tell what kind of question type it is. So you have a couple different options. You have text, you have paragraph text, which is just the same thing. You can type in some text. It's just a little bit longer in the box size. You have multiple choice. You can do check boxes, so you can select more than one of the multiple choice. You can choose from a list, which you would set up your list. You can do a scale if you do want to do like something from 1 to 10. You can do grid. You can set up a date, and you can also set up for a time. Now, just for practice purposes, we're just going to do regular text. Okay, so this gives you a little preview of what it should look like. So it's just real small. Again, if you go to paragraph text, it's just a little bit bigger. So we're just going to do text since it's just their name. If you want to put in some extra information, you can put it here in help text, but that's again optional. The only other part here is the required question. If you put a check mark there, it puts a little star next to the question and it requires them to answer that before they can submit the actual form. So we're going to go ahead and hit done, and it shows what it would show like on the form. We're going to go ahead and add another item. So it pops up the exact same way that you did before. Question title, we'll just say class period, since you want to know what class period they're in. And again, question type, you can select from there. Since they're going to type in their own answer, you can just put text again. And we want to require this question as well. So you hit done and it adds another one. You can do this as many times as you want to, adding as many questions as you want to. If you put something in the wrong order, you can easily just drag and drop it to wherever you want it to. If you don't want that question in there anymore, you can go over here to the delete button. You also have the options to duplicate. So if you hit duplicate, it will bring up the exact same thing that just popped up in there. And you can hit done and it brings up the exact same thing. If you want to edit something that's already been done, you can just click the little edit button and then go back and fix what you need. Just for examples, we can do another question. Let's say, what grade are you in? And we'll go ahead and do this multiple choice. We'll say this is high school level. We'll say 9th grade. Click down to do the next one, 10th grade. Click to do another option, 11th grade, and click to do another option. You can do as many as you want to, and again, this is multiple choice, so they can just select one of their answers. If you want it to be a checkbox, make sure you switch it to checkbox so they can select more than one. And again, click required if you want it to be required. Then you click done. If you want to preview what this form looks like, you can go up to the top and it says view live form. If you click view live form, it brings up a new menu or a new tab, and it will show you what it looks like. Now this one's kind of plain, it's just blank white, there's nothing to it. If you want to change what the background looks like, it's very easy. You just go up here to the top, we'll click change theme, and it does have some default themes that are already set up. You can go through and pick the one that you like. Just click on it and it will apply it to it. The same thing, you can click view live form so you can see what it looks like in the long run. So this is what they will see whenever you send out your form. Okay, and then to finish up, the only other thing that you would need to do here is go to view responses. Now this is the only time you're ever gonna have to do this is whenever you're creating your very first form. If you click view responses, it is gonna pop up a little menu and it's gonna say, do you want to create a separate file for your responses? You want to say yes, so that way you can have a separate sheet so you don't have to actually go back to your form to find this, and I'll show you what this looks like in a second. But if you look back over here at your past form, you have name, class period again, and what grade are you in. And if you look here on the student responses, you have a timestamp, which is when they did it, name, class period, and what grade are you in. And as soon as they submit their form, it will populate this list. It is dynamic, so it will populate as it happens. You do have the options, just like Excel, to delete things. So if someone puts something in there that it shouldn't be there, you can right click on it and delete row, and you can get rid of that response if you would like. So again, it does create two different forms. Once you click yes to view responses and have it open into a new form, you don't ever have to do that again. It will automatically do that. And what it'll look like is if you go back to your drive, you'll see two different files. One will be the actual form, the student information form, and one will be the responses, and that's how it'll be. And it'll just drop it wherever you were last. I just did mine in my drive, so that's where it ended up. You can drag these and put it somewhere else if you have folders set up, and they will work the same way.